Ooh, what's going on here? Okay. And they can put the equipment on it, but this equipment doesn't give any extra defense, so they're both going to die anyways. And it's still more than enough to kill them, so yeah. I'm really curious to see how many spells we got this game. So last game we left off with 8 spells, so let's go check out what we got now. Hello everybody, my name is Kyle. Thanks for stopping by to check out my video in my Beginner's Guide series here on Arena Hacks. I'm using this series to teach all the newcomers and new people to Magic the Gathering Arena how to build their collection and grow their digital collection for very cheap, on a budget, or even no money at all. So if you're into that, please hit the subscribe button down in the bottom corner right where I am. I also like doing all kinds of other things on this channel, just sharing all kinds of deck ideas and things I do in the game and the gameplay, and just all kinds of fun stuff like that. So once again, hit that subscribe button if you think any of that's interesting. As for today, we're moving on in our Beginner's Guide series. So the next deck, actually to recap in the last video, what we did was we used the Control Center deck that we earned, the blue-black deck, Dimir, and we cast a bunch of blue and black spells to unlock a mythic, our first mythic rare wild card. And then it said get another deck tomorrow. And today, as we can see here, if we look at our menu and we hover over the little color challenge circle. By the way, yeah, if you click on this circle, it just goes to the color challenge. Yeah, so it's just right here, the color challenge. And yeah, so we go back to home tab up at the top, and we come back here. So, but if you hover on it, it gives us these extra, whatever these challenges are here. The beginners get the challenges that I call them. Anyways, so this now says today it's actually telling us what our reward is and what our goal is or our objective is. And it's 5 free decks, but we have to cast 100 spells to get it. Now it doesn't matter, normally they've been colored spells, cast this color of spells. This is just cast 100 spells. So I may not show you the entire way of like my entire time of casting these 100 spells, because it can be kind of repetitive, I guess. You just play the games with the decks you have, and I still recommend using the decks they've given you, only slight modifications. Try not to use too many wild cards yet, except the ones I've already mentioned, because those decks all improve from those uncommon wild cards. And I think so far it's just been 3 or 4 that I've used in this entire series. So it's not that bad, and we will get a bunch of wild cards later, and then we will start using them to craft our first few decks. So again, stay tuned to this Beginner's Guide series to see all those other goodies. But today I'm just going to show you something I put together. It's a deck that should hopefully help us cast a lot of spells quickly, and it's just a test, something I put together, and it's with cards that I have in this account right now, so we should all have them if you are at this stage in your account. Now I'm not gonna, I already did this today and swapped my quests, so I did that. I checked out the store. Actually, let's go check out the store. There is a daily deal. It wasn't gonna be I was gonna make a thing about it. It's just because of what they have here today. Animation's a little weird on it, kind of funny. But these draft tokens, I usually buy them when they're on a better deal for this. This is only 10% off. You can almost, yeah, the weird animation glitch that I was mentioned there is kind of blocking it when I hover. But yeah, you get 10% off, and because I'm not that into drafting, I don't buy it when it's this much. But if it's like, there was once they had this draft token for 5,000 gold, and I definitely bought it then because this is a player draft. It's a 10,000 coin draft to enter. So yeah, when 9,000 is 10% off, and it was for 5,000 coins, so I was like, yeah, I'll definitely buy that draft token. I haven't actually even used it yet because I'm not that big into drafting. But if you are, it's something to consider. If you don't know yet, and you're at this point where we are in this account, as you see, we can't even buy it yet. But if we go back home and we look at some of the things we have here, we can easily get that last, what is it, 550 gold that we need? We can easily get that and buy it. But if you're not sure how you feel about drafting, don't buy that. If you're at this point with your account and you notice that deal, don't worry about it. Let it go. They only do that deal once per season. So Innistrad just came out, so I knew that deal was going to be coming up where they do the draft token. And like I said, some seasons they've done it for 5,000. This season they usually do it for 9,000 gold. So I won't get it because it's just I'd rather do the quick drafts if I even do drafts at all. But I would recommend that for anybody who doesn't know whether, I don't know if I'm new to Magic the Gathering, right? You don't know if you like drafting. So go do some quick drafts. They're a lot cheaper, and just see how you like them and go from there. But as for today's gameplay, we're going to go check out the deck that I built. It's Dimir, black and blue again, a little different than the black, quite a bit different than the black-blue deck that they give us, even though we do use a lot of cards. So let's check that out now. Okay, so here we are. This is, I just called it spells because we're trying to cast 100 spells, right? So I tried to get a lot of card draw combined with very cheap low mana spells. I mean, this deck could be a lot better. Maybe more removal, more counter spells just because of the colors we're on. But I really tried to focus on just card draw and cheap spells and tried to focus on surviving. A lot of our cheap spells are little creatures that either have some synergy when they die, like Shambling Ghast. Really great. I think I used 3 common wild cards to construct this deck from this account. So again, if you're willing to spend that to do this, if not, you can do the 100 spell challenge with any of the decks that you have at this point. Like I said, I try to not spend too many wild cards at this point. Wait till you build up, unlock all your decks, get all your free rewards. Go get some free packs, which I'll teach you how to do. Open them all up, get a whole bunch of wild, and then we can start. We have a lot of freedom then to build your first few decks. But yes, getting back to this one, there's only one Unwilling Ingredient. I'd probably go with more of these over the Sanitarium Skeleton. These are our little creatures that we sacrifice for card draw, as well as just use them for chump blockers to delay the game. Unwilling Ingredient has card draw built right into it when it dies, so when it's in the graveyard. It has that card draw built in. Otherwise, what was I saying? Otherwise, yeah, we'll sacrifice it to Deadly Dispute, any of these guys over here, and Deadly Dispute will get us some card draw, as well as give us some ramp with that treasure token, which always comes in handy when we're trying to cast a lot of spells. And then we have Curate here, just another one that lets us draw a card in the end, but we get to search through the top 2 cards. So it's a powerful draw 1 card, because you kind of get to sort the top of your deck a little bit first before you draw your card. Flunk, that's just for removal. Hired Hexblade, again, it's just a cheap creature at 2 mana. 2 mana, 2/2 is not bad. And if we have a treasure, which we can easily get one from Shambling Ghast or Deadly Dispute, or even the Skullport Merchant, which is in here to help us with card draw as well, because of his ability to sacrifice our treasures or our weaker creatures or something that we don't mind sacrificing, like maybe even Hired Hexblade. But once we have that treasure, if we use that to play Hired Hexblade, then we get extra card draw, and we're casting a spell, all at the same time. So there's some removal in here with Poison the Cup, Soul Shatter, and what's the other removal I had in here? Baleful Mastery, and even Gelatinous Cube is a form of removal in creature form. So these are the removals I put in here. Again, these all come with the decks we've unlocked and earned so far. Grazilaxx was one from the Control Center, the black and blue deck that they gave us. Same with Dragon Turtle, and I'm not sure which one Imrith comes from. Mind Flare, I think, comes from Control Center. And Westgate Regent, I think, comes from the Rakdos deck. But these are all our games just to try to win the game. A lot of them, like Imrith, does have card draw built into them, so we cast them, we cast a spell, we attack with them, we get card draw, right? So not all of these top-end creatures here have card draw. I missed Nightmare. Nightmare, power and toughness based on swamps. So it's not like it'll be super huge, but we are really heavy on black in this deck. So, so yeah, like he will be a pretty powerful flying creature for 6 mana, who will just grow as you find more swamps later on. I think that's about it. I covered the removal. Savage Gorger, he's kind of like a mid-range possible win con. If your opponent can't deal with him, he just grows and grows and grows, and especially if they can't block him and they don't have flying, right? He just grows and grows and grows. So basically, if you wanted to and you wanted to spend the rares, you could actually take these guys out and increase the number of Westgate Regents. Again, this is for future though. For now, don't spend the wild cards, like I said, but that would just be a future expansion you could possibly think of if you do like the deck that I've built here. And it would be more powerful because Westgate Regent is just 2 extra mana for basically a Savage Gorger on steroids. But he has to be the one dealing damage for his ability to trigger, right? But it builds up a lot faster, so, you know, take of that what you will. They're both vampires, they're both flying. And yeah, that's pretty much the deck. I have to fix up this mana here, so I'll show you I'm going to do that right now. Let's pull this down and go with lands. What did we want? We want multicolor. Let's shut that off. And we'll go with, oh, I have 2 pathways now. I don't know for sure if you guys will have a pathway at this point. I must have opened it in one of the free packs I've earned so far in this deck. But I know we get 1 pathway to start off with one of those decks we've unlocked. And we'll go with 2 or 3 of these, maybe. Let's do a full set of them. And we'll just take out, oops, we're at 5 cards. Yeah, we just added 5 cards. I'll take out 3, 4 islands and 1 swamp. And I think that will be good there. Right, we're back down to the same number of lands, and let's just take a look at that. Anyways, 24 lands, 2.6 average, which is not that bad. We have a few expensive stuff here, but most of everything is 3 mana or less, as you can see in the graph. So, all of that being looked at, just fixed my lands up there. Let's get into some gameplay and see how it goes. The least amount of card draw in the deck that's supposed to be all about card draw. And I get the least amount of it in this opening hand. Hopefully we get some good cards off the top. This isn't the worst. That's not a great draw, but it gives us something to do on our second turn at least, so. It doesn't count as a spell when you foretell it though, unfortunately. What do we let him have? A Gorger or a Nightmare? Does it really matter? Let's go with a Gorger. See if we can actually cast our Nightmare and get it out there. Yeah, let's put this one down for now. Hopefully they don't have too much more discard. Maybe I should have put this down. Yeah, that probably would have been the better way to go. What else do they got here? Oh, another discard. Might have to get rid of Nightmare now. We're so far from casting it. Jeez. And then we get more swamps. Thanks, game. That's real nice of you. So this is a -1/-1 for now. Let's attack in with this guy first. Play out a chump blocker. We need to try to get stuff out of our hand. They keep making us discard. And that's really bad for us because we're trying to cast a lot of spells. This is literally the worst possible deck we could be matched up with for what we're trying to accomplish right now. It's insane. But anyways, what do they have for cards? 7 cards in hand, so let's make a block here, I guess. See how they respond to that. Anything? What you doing? We'll let that go through. And we'll use the -1 to finish him off. There's the thing. What does this thing do? I guess +2/0, this creature dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. That hasn't resolved yet. We could 6 cards, we could flunk it and it would stay dead. That's a lot though, and they're trying to protect it. But they get it back to the battlefield, which will make us discard again. Let's flunk it. And now that won't happen because it hasn't resolved yet, so they don't get it back. That's actually a really good draw for us. Hit with this guy. Hopefully he can carry the game for us. See, we're nowhere near casting that Nightmare still. He's getting bigger. We've got Poison the Cup. Not even in our hand. Right? Sure. It's not in our hand. It's in foretell, right? Resolve. No discard for us. Who you going to attack this time? I don't think you are. I don't think I want to use this treasure yet, so we're going to hold on to it. I would have casted this, and I'm so glad we held on to it, because we will still have the mana for Poison Cup after we cast this guy. Let's get in for some flying damage first. And this guy keeps growing and doing more and more damage each turn. Okay, so they're looking for some answers now, because they're seeing that too. They're like, we got to do something. We got to kill this creature, else it's going to run away with the game. Let's get our own card draw from the treasure here. Okay, it's not bad. I'm not sure which one I'd rather cast right now. Poison the Cup or Deadly Dispute? Well, Poison the Cup on that guy looks pretty hot right now. That's for sure. Yeah, we're definitely doing that. Ooh. What do we have for mana out there? We could use another blue source. I say we throw that to the bottom. Keep this blue source. We do have more card draw here. Unfortunately, that's going to be our draw for the turn, is just this. Let's go with the Hexblade as well. They do take the chump block. Fine. And we'll end turn. We're actually looking pretty good here. They're down to 10. Some zombie with Death Touch. When he dies, he gets a 2/2 decay token. That's not nice. So they're going to make us reveal a card. We don't want to let him discard this. We want to cast this. So let's do it right now and sacrifice our Hexblade. The Skullport Merchant is just awesome. That's pretty good here, but I really don't want to show him anything now. We can show him Mind Flare. I'd rather keep Imrith. Our flying is winning us the game right now. And if they find a way to deal with our Gorger, then at least we got Imrith on deck. Right? And we have the mana to cast him. And it's our turn. Okay, that worked out well, actually. Yeah. Keep him going. We won't have enough mana to cast the Deadly Dispute, though. And they might make us discard it, but it doesn't matter because they're at 5 health. Any one of these guys gets damage through, they lose. And it's another spell we just cast, so I think we're doing all right. These are all spells. We did not cast them all. We discarded, I think, 2 or 3 of them at least. Yeah. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8 spells. Not terrible, not great. Probably has some kind of trick, I'm guessing. Nah, that's just 3 damage, not bad. Unless they have some kind of trick or some, yeah, that's just game. Actually, we could have attacked with Skullport too. I should have tried to cast Soul Shatter, just one more spell. Seems kind of mean when you do that, like rubbing salt in the wound. We already had the game. But let's keep going, see how we can do. Okay, so 8 total spells last round. So I kind of hate the lack of blue mana here, but we're gonna keep it because we can get treasures. Hopefully, we'll get something a creature we're okay sacrificing. A little 1-drop would be nice, or the blue mana. No, not gonna give us either. Thank you, game. It's only what mostly consists in the deck. The vast majority of the cards are exactly what I just said. Well, except the blue mana. But, of course, no, we don't get it. Consistently don't get it. What are you going to do, right? And they just get all of their heart's desires. Wow, what an amazing start from the opponent here. So this is clearly going to be an absolutely terrible game as the Shuffler continues to prove that exact point right there. Thank you, game. Thank you so much. Yeah, I guess we'll play this. End turn. Alright, we'll use this so we actually get some card draw out of them. And we also cast another spell with Deadly Dispute. And they still get to get their damage in either way, but there's what we wanted earlier. Whole bunch of them. Shambling Ghast would have been nice. Even a Hexblade would have been good. Here's a blue source. We've been hoping for that too. That's not bad. We play this and get card draw when we attack with Skullport Merchant. And then we still have enough for Deadly Dispute and Sanitarium Skeleton. Let's do that. I like that. But we can't block their flying, so it's going to be, yeah, 3 turns if they don't increase its power any. Ooh, if we get another blue source, which we can sacrifice this just to cast Deadly Dispute, in which case we will get a treasure from Deadly Dispute, and we will be able to cast Mind Flare and take their own guy who's just destroying us from them. They will be able to, if they get another creature, they can re-equip. Okay, so we're going to Deadly Dispute our Grazilaxx instead of the skeleton because they're targeting it with this. And this way we get some value. Why throw the skeleton away if we don't have to? I know it comes back, but they were going to kill that guy anyways, so Grazilaxx. So might as well use the Deadly Dispute on him. And we did get our treasure anyways, like I wanted. Okay, so they do have this this creature here. So when we take over their creature, they can move their equipment back onto their own creature if they want. And it doesn't slow them down much, does it? This guy does have higher attack, so there's that. We'll have, what, 2 mana left over? We can Deadly Dispute our skeleton then. Hold Shambling Ghast. Hopefully it'll slow him down a bit. It'll make him... The Maul is an expensive equipment to equip at 4 mana here. So if we take this guy, it's a bit of a pain in their side. A little bit. So yeah, we're holding up Deadly Dispute in case we want to cast it. Might as well attack in. Don't see why not. Get a few points of damage. Not like these guys can even block their flying anyways. And end the turn there. Hold up the Deadly Dispute like I mentioned earlier. Let's see what they do. Attack us for 1. Do that. I wonder if they realize. They may not realize that they can re-equip their... So let's sack their own creature. Well, let's attack them with their creature. And sack our skeleton here to get card draw and a treasure in case we want to play a double blue again. We do get another, and there's our second blue source anyways. And there we got one there as well. Now things are really starting to come together here. Maybe we hold that guy. Let's throw a cheap creature down here. This is a weird little glitch here. It's showing 1 mana. When you hover, though, it shows 3, and that's what it is. And that just puts it into your hand. That's it. Right now, it's technically in our graveyard. So let's go like this. We definitely want to attack with their own guy here. And we might as well go with these guys. Maybe we hold back Mind Flare, just in case they have some kind of trick to put on here. They pump them up somehow, make them more stronger. So here's a bunch of damage we're getting in with their own creature. That is so cool. We can do this during their turn too, so let's just end. If you read, it just says return this guy from your graveyard to hand. You can do that, pay that cost, and do that anytime we want. So we can do it during their turn. Basically like casting an instant. Alright, so they're going to throw that on their guy right away. That's not terrible. I wanted to save mana mainly for Baleful. So they're going to an attack here, so let's use Baleful now. Exile their dude. As long as we have 2 mana, we can use the Skullport Merchant to sacrifice their own guy if they're about to kill our Mind Flare. We can pay this. We have to use the treasure. I don't want to use the treasure for that. Oh, I could have curated though. Ooh, that should have done that. Dang. Well, let's go black. Black's our main thing in here. Let's bring this to hand and play it. We have nothing to hit with the cube. And then I guess we just attack in with everybody. That may even be 10 damage. 5. No. We're 1 shy. Yeah, nothing has haste, so. And I don't think I will play anything else this turn. We'll save this 4 mana to cast both the Curate and use the Skullport's ability. Push comes with foot shove. We can use it on the skeleton to get more card draw. And we can just bring the skeleton back out. We also got Curate, which is card draw. Really powerful card draw because we're sorting the top 2 cards of our library. 2 cards, I think? Yeah, 2. We weren't getting lethal this turn because nothing has haste, so that was all the damage we could do. What was it? It was 9 damage, I think. Okay, so they're getting something back. This is bad. What is it? A permanent card, 2 or less. Mana value, 2 or less. So now, once again, they don't have the mana for it anymore, but if they survive next turn, which is at 2 health, it really looks like they won't. But yeah, you can take that maul. You got the 4 mana to pay the equip cost. They control the maul, I don't. I just control the creature. Always remember that with equipment. Let's curate. We don't need that one, so we'll get rid of that. Draw the ingredient, and we'll just take our turn. Cast the ingredient. Please let it go. All right, now we'll just attack all in. Got that 1 extra spell. I don't know. I don't want to tick them off. Just like attack all in. Game's ours then. Unless they have some kind of. Ooh, what's going on here? Okay. And they can put the equipment on it, but this equipment doesn't give any extra defense, so they're both going to die anyways. And it's still more than enough to kill them, so yeah. I'm really curious to see how many spells we got this game. So last game we left off with 8 spells, so let's go check out what we got now. Okay, so we were at 8 the first game, and we were at 21 spells just there. So that was actually a pretty good game. We cast, for 21, we cast 13 spells. It's a good 5 more, yeah, five more spells in our first game. And we're definitely keeping this hand because this looks like 1 drop, card draw. Just awesome stuff. Okay, looks like opponent's got a bit more of an aggro deck. Let's attack in. They won't block because why would they trade their Lumimancer for our Ghast? That would be really bad for them. Actually, it wouldn't even be a trade. They would just lose their, yeah, our Ghast would just kill their Lumimancer. It has no power right now. They have to play an instant. They have to cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell. And then they get a +2 boost, then they get a counter. I say we take this damage, it's early game, and we don't have any spells held up in our hand. I really want to get this tap land. Oh, I do want Gorger out there too. Yeah, let's get the Gorger out. Attack with just 1. Because we do want to use the other, we might want to use the other one for defense if they're able to pump this guy up really big. Depends if they only, let's see what they do. Yeah, let's see what they do with it. Whether or not we want to block with our Shambling Ghast, because we still can't Deadly Dispute it. However, not a big deal. We can Deadly Dispute the next one. Whoa, what does this thing do? 2/2 until end of turn. If it's a human, it gets 3/3 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Ouch. And that's a lot of damage, so we're going to block that. 3 damage was okay. That's why I said, I'm like, it's early game. We can afford to just let them get a shot in. That one I didn't want to let them get in. No thank you. Alright. Attack in with this guy. If we play this, we can't play Deadly Dispute. I really want to play Deadly Dispute, so we'll just end turn there. So that way we can block the Lumimancer. And especially if they play a land here, with the Lumimancer, a good trick is they attack in. They might even attack in as a 1/2. And they could have done that. This is an instant speed, right? And then they'll do that. They'll hold instants back. They'll attack in with a very weak creature. And it's the Lumimancer. And then they'll cast all these instants and sorceries when you say, I'm not blocking. Then they cast their sorcery instants, not sorceries. At that, you can't cast sorceries mid-combat. But anyways, then sometimes they'll have this guy out first. And then they'll just get all kinds of crazy damage through. 3 damage. Well, we held up the Deadly Dispute. Might as well block and Deadly Dispute, right? Get our card draw, cast more spells. That's what we're here to do, right? Create a treasure, just because. Oh, look at all that. Money, money, money. Now we'll go Grazilaxx for sure, Grazilaxx, before we attack. Now we attack, we'll get card draw from Grazilaxx. Grazilaxx, oh my god, and more of that. That is so cool. I think I'll hold this other Gorger. This one's doing pretty good already. Unfortunately, we don't have a good chump blocker unless we're willing to sacrifice Grazilaxx. Okay, so they get all this stuff. They paid 4 for here, so they scry 1, draw a card. We return a creature. Oh, we get to choose? Sure, I guess we'll do Grazilaxx. Can't block anything now, but they're out of mana and they can only do 7 damage, and they're doing just 4 though. We didn't want to return this guy because of those counters. I say we do this, get some card draw, sack a treasure. We get a treasure back with it anyways as a part of the spell. Boom, and comes right back. Now we got some good chump blockers. Let's keep our air attacks going. Get some card draw. Oh, there we go. I really want both a chump blocker and I want to cast this, but if we foretell it, yeah, they'd like use all our treasures. We're going to use 2 treasures this. We can still cast it. I say we end turn. He gets pumped up. We have a chump blocker. We can kill some of their good stuff. Which, you know what, we almost should have killed their Leonin now. Or we can do it now before they cast an instant or sorcery spell. Now when they cast instant or sorcery, they still get the benefits from this light scribe, but not their first. Whoa. Jeez. They actually, do they have what is... Yeah, dang it. He was nice and big too. That Westgate Regent or Regent would be really good right now. Block this guy, sure. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to win this now. I don't know how we're going to be able to turn it around fast enough. We can maybe keep chump blocking for a while, but we're pretty much done. There's 1 more life lost. Ooh. They do not have a lot of cards in hand. Ugh. We do not have a lot of mana left over. Attack in, see what they do. You can throw away one of your light scribes? Yeah? I can return this back to our hand, but let's trade them up. I think the game is getting pretty close to over. So, yeah, let's just trade them up and try to see what we can do here. They have one instant or sorcery. Well, one sorcery here. And then that guy. Well, let's get rid of their Light Scribe now. And then try and draw a card. Ugh. And we're gonna have to, yeah, we're gonna have to split up our blockers between these two because it's what, 4, 7 damage? Yeah, it's exact lethal. And they just keep casting all their spells. Now it's overkill, but I think they're out of mana. That's the last one. Oh, that's bad. Oh, let's go this way. See how many spells we can cast. Just to cast spells. I go this way. We get to draw a card, lose a life. Ouch. Ooh. Let me go this way. I was going to use the, it's not like a spell, but I was going to use this to draw another card and lose another life. But now we got another blocker, treasure token. And I hope that card was that they just drew was another land. Oh no, of course not. And here they keep putting the pressure on. Ay, ay, ay. Should come in with everything, I would think. No, just the 2? No. Too bad we didn't have 2 mana to sacrifice this guy. Go that way. Ooh. Mmm. Alright, let's get some damage in there. Then we play this guy. He will grow to, they will both grow to 2/2s. And then we'll have what? 2 mana and the treasure, which is enough for this. We'll lose a life. But I say we end turn there. This has flash. So we cast it during their turn. Right at the beginning of combat, we take away their best attacker, which is their elemental here. We tap it down with it. Ooh. Well, we don't have to block the other one. We do have 2 mana. We can block and sacrifice. We can double block one. They would still lose our guy, though. Like, we would still lose ours. Let's go this way. I think this is our best chance for actually winning. Oh, mana. Oh, God, that hurts. Yeah, there goes another life. Pop. Yeah, let's bring this back to hand. We just need a blocker. Because I think I want to attack. They have 2 attackers. So I definitely want to attack. Actually, let's attack with everything. They're all blocked. They're only going to have 2 attackers. We'll play Hexblade and still have a second blocker. This is insane. And I'm gonna pay with treasure and we're gonna lose another life. And we're gonna draw another card. Oh my God, that was not worth a life for another freaking land. Oh my God. And they curate, so they're making some big Lumimancers. We're okay with that. We're gonna chump block and then kill them in the air. Although they are getting another card, that's bad. As long as it's not trample, and with white and blue, I don't think there's any trample to be worried about. Or if it's removal, oh, that'd be bad. Close enough. We should have left one extra. That's what I was thinking about the Skullport for an extra blocker. Dang. And we would have had it too if I would have left the Skullport untapped and kept him for a blocker. They could have bounced. They bounced back to our hand, right? Yeah, and they put our Hexblade back to our hand. Yeah, that's what they did. So if we had this guy untapped, we would have had him as a blocker, or they would have bounced him back to hand. We would have lost them either way. It didn't matter though. Any one of these Savage Gorgers gets through, and that's it. Oh no, we would have needed both if we didn't attack with the Skullport. Yeah, we would have needed both still, because they would have been at 4 health then. It would have been 1 less damage that got through. So yeah, that's how we should have played it. Kept that 1 extra blocker, and I thought 1 damage, not much. We should keep him for a blocker. Lesson learned. Okay, yeah, so that was a few games there, and as you see down in this, when I hover here, we got 40 spells. That's dang near halfway done already, and that was, pretty sure it was 3 games. I go back and look at the video, I'll know how much it is then, but I'm pretty sure I just played 3 games there, and we got 40 spells towards our 100 spells. 60 spells left to go. That's at least, that's maybe, if the games are similar to these last 3, that's 4 more games, and we got it. So I'm going to call the video there and just put an end to it there. I've kind of taught you what the whole point is, that what I've tried to teach you at this point as you're beginning and unlocking your account and building your account. So so yeah, let's go take a look at that deck though I built. One last look at that before I wrap up this video. Okay, so yeah, here we are with the deck. Yeah, I wasn't too sure how this deck was going to do. It's kind of all over the place. Like, I'm working with such a limited collection that this account has, but I want to make sure I know all you new players will have all these cards as well. So it was kind of tricky to find things to make things work together, but I'm kind of happy with the way a lot of those games work. You know, I think, what was it? Was it just the last one I lost? I can't remember now. But as I explained, we could have won that had we just played it just a wee bit safer with that 1 creature. But yeah, 40 spells in 3 games, can't complain. Can't complain about that at all. This is the deck that did it. It's completely free to play, only a few common wild cards for anybody who's just started out their deck and worked for the first few challenges up to this one. And yeah, I hope you guys all like it. If you do, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys all at the next Beginner's Guide video, where I'm going to be sharing all kinds of neat fun stuff. See you there. Cheers.